A wonderful job this season for the strikers in the BBL. But of course, out here, he played the first two games, Ben. But this is part and parcel, because with the overseas players coming in, at times you have to sit out as well.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a lot of talent in the overseas players, and you only play four, so sometimes you've got to miss out, but hopefully get another chance soon.
But how are you looking at this tournament, especially as an individual? How do you want to improve as the tournament progresses?
Yeah, I haven't played much cricket over here in Sharjah, so it's a great opportunity to get a few more games under the belt here, which is great, and learn some new skills on these different pitches. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get back out there and try and work on some things.
As you mentioned, Ben, playing in Australia, conditions are different. Out here, the wickets are different. You got to adapt to the situation. Variation in pace is so very important.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, we get sport in Australia with some pretty fast and bouncy wickets with some big boundaries. It's a little bit opposite here. So yeah, it's a few new game plans you have to tweak, and yeah, hopefully we can work that out soon.
A few words for your team as well, your franchisee.
Yeah, the boys have been going pretty well. We didn't bat extremely well last night, but I think that'll just be a little bleep on the radar, and we'll be back into it tonight with the big boys at the top.
Every game from here on is going to be very important.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's nice to get some momentum towards the back end and into the finals. So yeah, let's hope we can get a win tonight.
Thanks, Ben, for talking to us.
No worries. Thank you.
So that was Ben talking to us. I have the man Ben Loughlin, who really did a wonderful job this season for the strikers.
came, he saw, and he misfired. Chris Gayle didn't get the start Balkh Legends were hoping. And in the end, the Paktia Panthers won by 37 runs. But that's history. That was last night. The Legends are back on the field today to face a different opponent. An opponent desperate for a win. And the Leopards will leave no stone unturned to make it 2 defeats in a row for the Balkh Legends.
Well, taking on Nangarhar Leopards is going to be a big game this evening, the second game of the evening. And I've got the man from the Leopards, Hashmatullah Shahidi. Hashmatullah, a big experience here. You know, playing with the overseas players is always a challenge on these surfaces. So it's going to be a big challenge for you as well.
Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Yes, it's a big challenge for me to play against the big players, and also in our it's one of the biggest leagues now in APL. Playing here is a big challenge for me. I want to perform just.
But you know, as far as your batting is concerned, you've got the stars, you know, in few games. You want to capitalize on that, you want to cash in, because getting a big score always adds to your confidence as an individual, as a player.
Yes, I'm here for performance. So I did well in last 2 games, but I want to do more in upcoming games. So I did well, that's gone. So I have to play good cricket in the other games also.
Anything your coach Venkatesh Prasad or the captain Ben Cutting advises you, tells you how to go about?
Yeah, Venkatesh always talk to me, and he is saying to me, just play our natural game and try to be there, and try to you know the bowlers well, so try to be in and play our natural game.
You know, Shahidi, I want to know from you, you know, as a player, when you go in the first 6 overs, what's the plan like? You want to cash in or you want to settle in as a batsman first, just read the situation, read the wicket, and then go about your strokes?
In T20 cricket, it's not enough time to... so when you go in, so you should wait for the loose ball also, and see what's going on, and play according to the situations. In the chasing, I always try to play according to the situation. What team needs me, I do that. So,
but you know, last question for you, that under light, especially in the second innings, you feel the wicket gets a bit better for batting?
Yeah, it is better always. If you seen the matches, it's a due also in the second innings. So the wicket also it's good for the batting in the second innings. So it will be good for us. It will be we won the toss. We won the toss and elected to bowl first. So it will be good for us.
Thanks a lot and talking to us, Shahidi.
Thank you very much.
So that was Shahidi, a very good batsman from Nangarhar. Is back to the comms out there.
Thanks, Ajay, and thanks to Hashmatullah Shahidi, who's been in very good form indeed in the tournament. 26 not out against Kandahar, 49 not out against Paktia, and then 15 from 11 balls against Kabul. That's the Nangarhar effort so far. A really good win against Kandahar first up, but then back-to-back losses. And that loss against Paktia, despite a blazing effort from Ben Cutting, but against Kabul, well, they just didn't click at all. And of course, they were on the wrong end of a blazing 100 from Hashmatullah, who played an absolutely wonderful innings. 124 he made there. Zazai. Here's the Balkh Legends. They lost yesterday to Paktia by 37 runs. That was Chris Gayle's first match of the tournament. After a couple of wins first up. This is the side led, of course, by Mohammed Nabi. And they've got tons of quality. Ryan Tenduskarta played a really good innings against Kabul, along with Ravi Bopara to get them home there. And then victory against Kandahar, where they bowled really well, defending a modest score, it's fair to say. Let's now go down to Ajay Mehra once again, and this time, let's see who he's with. He should be with somebody from the Balkh Legends. Let's see who he is with.
I have the man Ben Loughlin, who really did a wonderful job this season for the strikers in the BBL. But of course out here, he played the first 2 games, Ben. But this is part and parcel, you know, because with the overseas players coming in, at times you have to sit out as well.
Yeah, exactly right. There's a lot of talent in the overseas players, and you only play 4, so sometimes you've got to miss out, but hopefully get another chance soon.
But how are you looking at this tournament, especially as an individual? How do you want to improve as the tournament progresses?
Yeah, I haven't played much cricket over here in Sharjah, so it's a great opportunity to get a few more games under the belt here, which is great, and learn some new skills on these different pitches. So, yeah, it'd be nice to get back out there and try and work on some things.
As you mentioned, Ben, playing in Australia, conditions are different. Out here, the wickets are different. You've got to adapt to the situation. Variation in pace is so very important.
Yeah, exactly right. And, yeah, we get sport in Australia with some pretty fast and bouncy wickets with some big boundaries. It's a little bit opposite here. So, yeah, a few new game plans you have to tweak, and, yeah, hopefully we can work that out soon.
A few words for your team as well, your franchisee?
Yeah, the boys have been going pretty well. We didn't bat extremely well last night, but I think that'll just be a little bleep on the radar, and we'll be back into it tonight with the big boys at the top.
Every game from here on is going to be very important.
Yeah, it is. It's nice to get some momentum towards the back end and into the finals. So, yeah, let's hope we can get a win tonight.
Thanks, Ben, for talking to us.
No worries. Thank you.
So that was Ben talking to us.
Ben Laughlin of the Balkh Legends just letting the cat out of the bag there. He's not in the side this evening, and you can see Balkh midway up the table. 2 wins out of 3, but their first defeat last night, so they'll be looking to bounce back this evening. Kabul's Wanan, they've just won against Kandahar this evening by just 2 runs, so they're top of the log. So that's how things stand in terms of the points table. Let's go out now to the middle. Charu Sharma's out there with the 2 captains and the match referee. It's time for the toss.
We are ready for the first of our 4 double headers, the second match on the first evening here, and 2 very tough teams taking on each other, Balkh Legends and Nangarhar. Got the 2 captains here with me, Mohammad Nabi, Afghan legend, and of course to his left, Big Ben Kutsi. I hope you guys are ready. We also have our match referee, David Jukes. Ben, you have the coin, and Mohammad Nabi, your call.
Head.
Heads is the call, David. Ah, the coin's running away from us, and it will drop.
It's a tail.
Okay, David confirms it's a tail. Ben, all right, what are you going to do?
We're going to have a bowl first.
All right, well, these are evening matches. You've seen the same pitch turn out plenty of runs today. What kind of total would you like to chase? No more than?
No more than 150 would be nice.
Well, for sure. But, do you think the pitch has a lot more in it?
Yes and no. It's seen a few games of cricket now, so obviously it looked fairly easy with the bat towards the back end of the last game. So we'll see what happens.
Well, you've been in terrific form individually, but of course the team's just lost a bit of momentum, and we thought you were one of the favourites. Any new plans today? Any changes?
Not really. No, we've got Johnson Charles comes back in for Andre Russell to strengthen our batting. So apart from that, we're going to full steam ahead.
Well, good luck then. All the best. Mohammad Nabi, no luck with the toss. You're going to be batting first. Would you like to bat first after winning anyway?
Yeah, it's never mind if we bat first or second, because today the weather was good and also windy as well. It will be later on not that much dew as well.
Well, your unbeaten record, of course, has come to an end, sadly. But what are different plans today? Any changes in the team?
No changes today, but the same side today. We're playing with the same 11 here.
Where would you like to see more improvement, in the batting or the bowling for your team?
Yeah, we will more improving on the both sides, bowling and batting as well. If you have a partnership, 1 or 2 big partnership in the batting side, and also we have one good bowling spell in the bowling side, will be different. Yeah.
All right, just one name for us. One of the youngsters who's impressed you in your own team.
Yeah, the keeper Ikram Ali Khair is a brilliant athlete as well, and also a good wicket keeper as well.
All right, good luck, and I hope you get back to your winning ways. All the best.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Toss for the second match on this doubleheader. Ben Cutting won the toss, and he is happy to field first.
Thanks to Charu, and thanks to the captains and match referee out there. The Balkh Legends, as Mohammad Nabi said, unchanged from their result last night, their defeat. Chris Gale once again at the top of the order. He made a quick-fire 20 from 10 balls last night. But overall, their batting really disappointed, it has to be said. Good to see Murray's Ashraf down towards the bottom of the list as well, because you might remember yesterday, if you were with us, he took a very, very painful blow on the left shin as he was following through. The ball drilled back at him, and he had to leave the field. He did bat later on, but it's good that there haven't been any long-term effects there, because that really was a painful blow. And the Nangarhar Leopards, Johnson Charles into the side in place of Andre Russell. Russell, who's still struggling a little bit with long-term knee trouble. He's had some injections in his knees over the last couple of weeks, and he's waiting for that to take full effect. He's just played the one match so far and scored a 4-ball duck and didn't bowl. The umpires on their way out to the middle, and alongside me, Alistair Campbell, the former Zimbabwe captain. Good evening to you, Alistair. And well, what do you make of this then? Nangarhar, after winning their opening match, losing the next two, a team that we thought looked pretty well equipped, and up against a Balkh side that, having won their first two, have now lost their last one. It's the unpredictability of 2020 cricket, I guess.
Evening, Brian. Evening, everybody. Should be a cracker, this. Balkh on paper, as we've said time and time again, one of the favourites. They've got the best balance, the more star quality players, and they've won two, lost one. Nangarhar Leopards, they need to get some points on the board. Just think in these night games that the expectation of what you need to get just needs to be raised slightly from the afternoon games. We've seen over 200 in 2 of the 4 games, I think it is, in the evening, and high 180s in the other 2. So it's very important that you aim high. You have to aim high. But having said that, you don't want to get too greedy and then find yourselves with plenty to do and not quite getting to that 200, 210. He won't have any problem. He just plays one way. Christopher Henry Gale showed glimpses in the game last night, but wasn't able to continue. His countryman Phil Simmons, the national coach of Afghanistan, just eyeing proceedings and making sure that he's understanding of what he wants in his Afghanistan team moving forward is on display here, and just seeing if there's other youngsters coming through that he might have missed out on. Had a terrific Asia Cup, Afghanistan, obviously, and just showed the world how they've progressed leaps and bounds in their cricket. And the standard so far in this competition has been really high, and the local talent on display has been outstanding, really. Decent crowd in for this evening game. And, well, they're going to be treated to, hopefully, some fireworks from this man. A true legend of the game, the best in the business. 348th game here tonight. Have a look at that strike rate, just under 150, 11,700 runs. It's quite phenomenal, really, what he's been able to accomplish in this shortest format of the game.
And 2100s, which is streets ahead of the next best in this format. Usman Ghani at the other end. And to operate from the pavilion end, the first over of action is going to be delivered by Mitchell McClenaghan. It's going to be very interesting to see how Mitch McClenaghan goes about his business here up against Chris Gale. These two will know each other very well, of course. They've played franchise cricket all over the world and in the IPL, of course. But we saw Udana last night, Suru Udana, get Chris Gale with a very good Yorker. And I think probably in the power play, Alistair, that's the way to go, really, isn't it? Just bowl very full and don't give him any length balls, because length he will absolutely go to town on.
No, length he'll murder. Bismillah Jan Shinwari from Afghanistan is the umpire. Good opportunity. We talk about the Afghanistan cricket players, but a great opportunity for the local umpires as well. And also those from further afield. Anil Chaudhary from India. He's standing in this game tonight. Yeah, I think you're right. Length balls he'll murder, and particularly on this surface under the lights here in Sharjah, ball coming on. So you've got to be on your money insofar as a fast bowler is concerned, making sure that you have a clear plan. I still think that the odd one round the ears is not a bad delivery to Chris Gale as well. He looks to set himself to clear that front leg to try and hit the ball in front of the wicket. He's not so adept at playing that hook shot, so when you have some pace like Mitchell McClenaghan does have, that's not a bad delivery either, just to push him back. But you don't want to be running up and bowling any looseness, I reckon. Although Chris Gale has shown how he goes about things. Likes to take his time early on, just get set and get the pace of the wicket. Here we go. Mitchell McClenaghan with the first ball.
Gale off the mark straight away. The good news is for Mitch McClenaghan as well that he's got a shirt that fits now.
Just. But there are no holes in it that he's have to cut out to accommodate the bicep and tricep and other bits and pieces. Having said that, I think there is a little snip there just to accommodate the bicep. You see the little flap hanging down there. There you go, just needs to make sure that he's got some air in there, got some freedom in the right arm.
Usman Ghani at the other end, just about to take his first strike.
Just getting the field exactly right, Mitch McClenaghan, and wanting square leg up into the circle and fine leg to stay back, but wants him a bit squarer. So not an orthodox fine leg, very much in between the two positions.
Mitch McClenaghan in the tournament so far. 4 overs for 30 against Kandahar, 4 overs 1 for 37 against Paktia, and against Kabul when Hasratullah Zazai went berserk, 3 overs for 39, but everyone copped a pasting that particular evening.
That's up in the air, and don't think he's got enough on it. Fielder underneath it. Oh, takes it. Really good judgment. And always hard under lights, but doubly difficult when you're running back and trying to get the judgment right. Naveen ul Haq, take a bow. That's a sensational grab.
What a wonderful piece of judgment this was. Usman Ghani trying to go downtown, the bat just turning in his hands a little bit. But to judge the ball coming over your shoulder like that, and out of the dark sky with the white ball, wonderful stuff. And Usman Ghani has to go back for a 2-ball duck. Nangarhar Leopards strike early, and it's 1 for 1. Colin Munro, the new batsman, he's at the non-striker's end because the batsman crossed while that ball was in the air. And what a catch that was by Mujib.
Did it reverse cup as well. Normally you would see the normal position of the hands coming up from the waist up. But he got the hands up early, employed the reverse cup, and took it easily in the end.
Naveen ul Haq with the catch. He's been quite impressive with the ball in the tournament thus far. Chris Gale, his one match in the tournament thus far. He was yorked by Udana. It's a good bit of bowling, and I rather fancy that this is the sort of length that Mitchell McClenaghan will be searching for. Just a little bit of shape away from the left-hander. The end of the over, a good over from McClenaghan, a successful one too. 1 for 1.
Is the fruit machine broken?
Balkh Legends unchanged from their previous match. Nangarhar Leopards one change from their previous outing, with Johnson Charles coming back instead of Andre Russell. So a really good start this by the Leopards after they won the toss and decided to field. And fresh from his excellent catch, Naveen ul Haq is now going to operate from the Sharjah club end.
Such a handy cricketer, this bloke. Just in his 12th game, best of 2 for 32, economy rate of 7.6. Got such a future, I reckon, particularly in the white ball version of the game. Such good variations, got a good slower ball bouncer, he's energetic in the field, a good fielder. Mujib, well, you normally see him opening the bowling, and tonight just going with a different plan. This was the catch again from Naveen ul Haq, but they're going with this youngster and Mitchell McClenaghan, so deciding that they'll save him for a bit later. I'm not sure, but that's the right decision. I would like to see him against Chris Gale. Oh, there's no chance of two. It was a quickish single, and they weren't going to ever get back for a second run. Chris Gale just having to unwind, and he was well past the crease, off the mark for Colin Munro. Yeah, I just think Chris Gale, if you asked him who would you rather face, Naveen ul Haq or Mujib, and I think the answer would be I'd rather not face Mujib up front. He's so used to facing seamers and the ball coming on. I think a change of pace would have been the way to go.
Let's see what length Naveen operates to here. Another single. Mujib, though, Alistair, was certainly mauled last night. That effort by Hazratullah Zazai. 124 he scored, and Mujib really copped a pasting, 3 overs for 45, which was most un-Mujib-like. And that was bowling the first over of the innings. In the previous 2 matches, he'd bowled the second over of the innings. Really plenty of experience for such a young player bowling within the power play, but maybe his confidence has taken a little bit of a knock.
I don't think so. He's done it so often, and in international cricket. Maybe he'll bowl in the power play. I'm sure he will bowl in the power play, just not bowl these first few overs. I just think when they've got a kingpin, as in Chris Gale, you want to try and get him out as early as possible. Don't let him get his iron. I just think he would be less comfortable facing Mujib than the other seamers on offer at the moment.
Colin Munro, he's sort of come to the crease almost unnoticed with all the attention on Gale, but Munro's had a solid tournament so far. 7 in his first game against Kabul, 46 against Kandahar from 24 deliveries. Both of those two opening the innings, and then with Gale, he slipped down the order, and there's his effort against Paktia. So this is his second match in a row, batting at first drop. Interesting that this is the first time Naveen's actually opened the bowling in the tournament. He's come on first change in all the matches that he's played so far up to this point.
So they're changing things up a big time in this particular game. The Nangarhar Leopards are not resting on their laurels. They're not giving the opposition a chance to act on probably what they would have talked about. They would have talked about trying to play Mujib in the first few overs, and that's not happened. So they've had to rethink and realign as to how they're going to go about things in these first few overs. In the power play, that's cut away, just a flick of the wrist. Such a strong player, Colin Munro. And the first 4 of the game. End of 2, 7 for 1.
Well, we lauded the length of the Balkh Legends batting lineup last night before they'd come to the crease, and in the end, it all came to nothing. They weren't able to chase 205 for victory against Paktia. That's the last ball of the previous over. Colin Munro finding the boundary, the first 4 of the innings. First fog boundary.
Well, it didn't take long. Mujib into the attack, bowling the 3rd over. So he's going to have a say in this power play, and let's see how he goes against Chris Gale. He won't shy away from showing him his, or showing Chris Gale his full repertoire, I reckon. Excellent. Bowling to 2 left-handers, so can sort of settle into what you want to do. Oh, straight through. That's the one that goes straight on. It's like an arm ball, bit of pace as well, zips off the wicket.
Bear in mind, Chris Gale will know all about Mujib because these two played together for Kings 11 in the IPL this year. So there'll have been some input, I'm sure, from Chris Gale into the team meeting ahead of this particular encounter.
Only 1 shot in anger thus far, and we're 1 ball shy of the 3rd over, so we've had 17 deliveries and just the 1 boundary 4. Very sedate start this from the Balkh Legends. How many times is this costly? Last ball goes for a wide, that extra delivery disappears to the boundary. Not on this occasion. All defences, Chris Gale. End of 3, 10 for 1.
Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League, powered by Fog, being shown all around the world. Just the inaugural edition, of course, and I'm sure as word gets out about this tournament, it will only go from strength to strength. Well, this is the surface, the second match of the day on it. This was also the pitch that we saw the first match of the tournament played on, where 218 played 220. Change of ends for Mitch McClenaghan. He bowled 1 over from the pavilion end. Now he's switched to the Sharjah club end. So Ben Cutting certainly spinning the plates here at this stage. Change after change after change. Talking of the pitch though, Alistair, you were out in the middle before play today. We've seen 173 plays 171 in the first match, and a sedate start by Balkh in this one. Is this the sort of thing you were expecting?
Not at all. Thought they'd be in a much better position. Yeah, however, plenty of time to catch up. You just need 1 big over, and suddenly the momentum's with you, and you can start lashing out from there on in. But the first game, I think, true to form, 170, 180 is what we expected on this particular surface, being an afternoon game, and then in the evening tends to get better by 20 or so runs, and I don't think that has changed. It looks a decent surface, so I think that the team batting first needs to be aiming at around about that 200 mark. Oh, there we go. That's huge. That's a Fog 6. I reckon that's the biggest 6 in the tournament so far, without a shadow of doubt. He's flicked that on top of the advertising hoarding that sits about 30 metres above the roof of the stadium. That is massive.
Fourth umpire is going to be exhausted by the end of this tournament, running on with new balls. That was right in the slot, and he picked it up beautifully. That's the shorter of the 2 boundaries in terms of square of the wicket, and as you can see, it bouncing right on top of that advertising board. Well, we've spoken to bowlers throughout this tournament so far. In fact, we spoke to Tymel Mills of Kandahar at the start of proceedings today, at the beginning of this double-header, and he said, look, as a bowler, particularly in these conditions, you've got to understand that you're going to go the journey occasionally. Players are going to play big shots and the ball's going to go over the boundary, and you've just got to put the last ball out of your mind and get on with the next ball. And case in point here for Mitchell McClenaghan.
That was massive. It was huge. The biggest one of the tournament so far. Right, so you've got a new ball now. He's got to come back and get it right again here, Mitch McClenaghan. Well, that's down the ground, change of pace. And he's just changed it up from a 4. He had a 6 the previous delivery, and this one, a little flick of the wrists and over mid-off for a fog 4.
Balkh up and running. Very quiet start for them. But now all of a sudden, Colin Munro has decided it's time to just put his foot on the accelerator.
Just waited that fraction of a second and waited for it beautifully and was able to caress it over the top of mid-off.
Width, and he's creamed that one backward of square on the offside for 4 more. This really is a damaging over now as far as Nangarhar Leopards are concerned. And, well, Mitch McClenaghan just scrambled a little bit.
Not a great delivery, you'd have to say. That's easy pickings for Colin Munro. He's not going to miss out there. Too wide, on a length, easy put away. Oh, that's better. It's full, and Colin Munro not able to get bat on it. Still not sure about the wide theory of bowling wide of the stumps. I just think in the early stages you still want to take wickets, and if you're bowling this wide of the stumps, you're taking out bold LBW, you're taking out a variety of dismissals, and I still think the easiest way to stem the run flow is still try and get your man out. Containment comes a lot later, maybe in the last few overs. But definitely in these first few, I think you've still got to be aiming to take a wicket. End of 4, 24 for 1.
So 4 overs gone so far, and we've had 3 bowlers. Mitch McClenaghan has bowled 1 over at each of the 2 ends, and starting this 5th over, we're about to have another change with Zahir Khan, the left arm wrist spinner, coming into the attack. So pressure on him to operate within the power play, and to Chris Gale as well. Oh, well bowled. Where do you stand, Alistair, in terms of bowlers bowling 1 over spells and operating from different ends, particularly early on? Even in this format, I think bowlers like to get into a rhythm, don't they?
Oh, lovely delivery. I wonder if Chris Gale can pick this bloke. That'll be the key here. I think everyone's got to be ready to bowl. I think they talk about it all the time as a team, as coaches, as bowlers in this form of the game, that they want to change things up in the first 6 overs, not let a batsman settle. Conversely, a bowler sometimes likes to get a rhythm, particularly a seam bowler, so if they bowl a good over, they'd like another. That's it in the gap. That's too full. You can't bowl there to Chris Gale. As soon as he got it in the gap, it was going to run away for 4.
Well, Zahir's been tidy in the tournament so far, but he has no protection out on the offside boundary inside the power play. So as soon as Gale found the gap between extra cover and mid-off, there was only going to be one result, a fog boundary.
Mid-off now, back on the boundary. He's down on one knee, and he's deposited it into the stands. Just a flick of that very big willow, and it's come right out of the middle and away for a fog maximum.
2 sixes for Chris Gale last night, and that's his first Spagiza this evening.
Doesn't try and hit it too hard, just make sure he gets enough good contact on it. Well, that's an outside edge. That was well bowled. A moral victory for Zahir Khan, but nonetheless he's going to pay the price. Nobody out there, and one that did turn a little bit, and it beat him all ends up really, Chris Gale, but he's going to leak another boundary.
Well, Zahir in this tournament so far, 3 overs for 20, 4 for 22, and 3 overs and 5 balls for 20, and already in this over, just 5 deliveries from him, and he's conceded 14. His last 3 balls, 4, 6, 4, and Gale is on the charge. Oh, well bowled, really well bowled. Beats Gale's inside edge. The umpire says not out from the appeal for LBW. 5 gone, 38 for 1.
It's been a decent start here for the Balkh Legends. Chris Gale still out there. There was a big shout as well last over. The ball just coming in, probably just sliding down the leg side. As Empire got to be dead sure to give those. So going in favour of the batsmen. Nevertheless, a good delivery, getting a bit of turn as well. Going to be the captain himself when cutting. Oh, not a great delivery. That's going to be a 4. Fog boundary to start with. Nice stroke there from Munro. Is well said. He's been there for some time now. Won't miss that opportunity. They're going at 8 runs per over. Welcome Charu once again.
Yeah, again, it's that right-left situation. In this case, of course, left-left. So Ben Cutting guilty first ball, but I'm sure he is experienced enough to ensure that he keeps it middle and off or further away from off. That's his field for the moment. No, not two clever deliveries in a row. Lucky to get away with it. Maybe it caught a bit of sharp. That should have been wide. Of course, Colin Munro urging the umpire, saying, come on. Chris Gale, well, he's the big boy, isn't he? And maybe a little lucky to survive here. But look at the angle created. Well outside from over the wicket, and then you can understand the umpire thinking, well, from that angle, surely that's got a missed leg.
Not timing it too well, we'll just settle for 1. Yeah, didn't take a big stride forward, Chris Gale, on that appeal. Was a bit tentative. He's a tall man. Last game, just missing out Chris Gale, but he knows that as a senior campaigner, experienced campaigner, he's got to fire. He's got to give his side a good start. Lost an early wicket in the form of Usman Ghani.
Just saw Johnson Charles, who's once again drafted back into the playing 11, and he can be pretty brutal at the top as well. But none quite like Chris Gale over the last few years. The top T20 man, 3-3-3. Anton Devcic, previous match, 94 not out, so he can play. Sharp. Wow. Pegged Chris Gale back. Really cranked it up and cutting.
Yeah, the umpire, Anil Chaudhary, saying 1 for the over. That was a sharp delivery as well, banging in short. Using his shoulders up to good effect, bending his back as well, Ben Cutting. Good leave from Chris Gale. The swing from the line of the ball, very good technique. At times you try to just bend underneath the ball, but very good technique there. Dropping his shoulders.
Well, Chris Gale fans might well be saying this is a very quiet innings relatively, but he does play carefully. Just makes it appear like he's thrashing everything, but he doesn't. He waits for the ball to be in the right arc, and he trusts that arc from about off stump onto mid-wicket. Those are his big shots. Of course, if he bowls short too, he's pulled on occasion huge sixes. But today, set date. And I'm okay with that, Ajay. I know sometimes you tend to play for the fans or on reputation, but the bowling's been decent.
Yeah, you're right. As a batsman, especially you want to just adjust to the situation. You want to just get used to the surface as well. That's the reason, probably just taking a bit of time. Don't want to miss again. Such a good track for batting this one. Going to be a dot delivery to finish the power play. 6 overs gone, 44 for 1. So the first over from Zahir was expensive, conceding 14 runs. Appeal as well against Chris Gale. He's a good bowler. Always a rare breed, the Chinaman bowler. He's got a good googly as well, conceding 14 runs in his opening over. But he can come back very strongly, Zahir Khan.
Venki Prasad was happy to single out Zahir, saying that he's one of our, not exactly mystery, but rare left-arm leggies. Always a little difficult to read. He's also had high praise for Naveen and, of course, Mujib. So he's got a very good bowling side, that's for sure, Venki Prasad. Falls short. Will fall well short of the man at the cover boundary.
Yeah, luckily for him, didn't time it too well, Chris Gale. There was a man at deep cover point, just chipping it, just trying to scoop that one. Mentioned about Zahir Khan, 1 wicket against Kabul, conceding 20 runs. That was a good spell. 2 for 22 against Bhatia Panthers. He's done well so far. He has been economical.
Oh, wow. Couple of sounds there. The bowler's completely convinced the keeper. After a bit of a wobble, is also happy to join in that appeal. The umpire, Shinwari, least impressed. We'll take a look.
Yeah, was in two minds there. Colin Munro. Just glued to the crease. Not much foot movement. Just glued to the crease. The ball coming in. Just wrapping him up on the upper part of the pad, on the flap. A very good shout.
No, did that take an inside edge? This will show. Maybe not, but the ball actually went way over the stumps. So just on that evidence, the umpire will probably have to say that it would have gone above the stumps anyway. So what follows? A boundary. Down on one knee. Happy sweep. Nobody there. And, it's a fog. 4.
Yeah, this is like rubbing salt on the wound, isn't it? Because there was an appeal, very confident appeal, then sweeping this one, playing it very confidently. As a bowler, you're never happy. You just think you could have had his wicket. Munro still out there, is on 29 after that 4. Once again, just scooping that one, very lucky.
Chris Gale is not too happy taking the 2. There was so much time. He very reluctantly turned around and said, well, might as well take it.
The 50 up. Now you see his back leg there when the ball hit the pad. His back leg was a bit bent up, yes, glued to the crease. Yes, it was a bit bent, and then the ball coming in looked very close. That's the reason he was very confident in his appeal there, Zahir Khan. Even the keeper thought, lucky there, Munro.
Yeah, once again, all I can add to that is that the ball barely flicked the back pad and went way over the stumps, or sufficiently over the stumps. So perhaps the umpire thought that even if it hadn't flicked the back pad, it might have gone over the stumps. And just on the height, it was, to my mind, given not out. It was certainly off stump, off in middle. Well, off stump for sure.
So you got to see the distance the ball has to travel. So it wasn't much. Going to be a single to end the 7th over, 52 for 1. So the 50 up for the Balkh Legends. A lot of people out here really enjoying themselves. This is the second game of the evening. Match number 9. The captain just having a word with the young man, Naveen, just telling him a few things. A lot of action in the field, but you can also have your own action. Create your own fantasy side, team, test your skills and win real cash by logging on to myteam11.com. I'm sure Charu does very often.
Yeah, well, I'm certainly very keenly following a certain set of players, and the whole idea of myteam11.com is that you guys select, make your selections and pick and chart their progress and, of course, win prizes as well. So it's all good. I hope you guys are on it. Oh, what's it? A very slow motion play for a change. Chris Gale happy to take a single. They finally do. Courtesy an overthrow. But Naveen was another bowler Venkatesh Prasad was talking very highly of, but I suspect there's a... Ooh. Seems like just under the thumb. Has hurt himself. Was it while trying to stop the ball when it was thrown in? That doesn't look good.
I can see a bit of swelling out. That's exactly what transpired. Pulling that one, not in great position. Not on the ball at all. Chris Gill wanting a single. Yes, no, yes, no. In the end, throwing that one. Yes, the physio is out there. Looks. Let's go down to Hamid.
Here we are with one of the finest all-rounder for Afghanistan for many years with Mirwais Ashraf. Mirwais, داره تو وایه پرون چې بالینګ دی کولو په شین باندې ولګېدی زنګون نه لاندې څه تکلیف درته پیدا شو هغه وخت سره څه احساس درلودو موږ خو ډېر زیات ویلي خدای نه خواسته چې انجري ډېره زیاته نه وي خو چې بیټینګ ته راغلی ډېر خوشحاله شو
بسم الله الرحمن الرحیم رښتیا هم هغه بال هغه دومره بیټسمین دومره تیز ووهه چې هېڅ ما هم نه لیده چې په پښه مې ولګېد هغه هډوکي سره هماغه ساعت لږ مشکل و ولې نوره داسې ستونزه نه وه داسې مشکل نه و وروسته بیا جوړه شوله یخ مې ورباندې کېښودو اوس شکر ښه یم
ډېر ښه چې ښی دا راته ووایه دغه APL چې افغانستان پریمیر لیګ شروع شوی دی دې کې دغه شانتې د سپیشلي دا نوي ټیلنټ ځوانان چې ګوري او هغه ځوانان چې کوم شاته د کرکټ لوبې ګوري هغوی دپاره کوم پیغام لري کوم میسیج لري او د خپل ایکسپیرینس څنګه شیر کوي خپل ډریسینګ روم سره لکه سپیشلي کریس ګیل چې تاسو سره دی
رښتیا هم د افغانستان لپاره د افغانستان د کرکټ لپاره د نوي ځوانانو لپاره ډېر یو لوی فرصت دی چې دوی د نړیوالو لوبغاړو سره یو ځای لوبې کوي او هغوی نه یو څه زده کوي تجربه لاسته راوړي رښتیا هم د افغانستان د کرکټ بورډ یو ستر ګام دی چې دغسې شخصي لیګونه پرایویټ لیګونه په لاره اچوي او دې سره د موږ هیواد ته ګټه دغه شی ده چې موږ به نوي لوبغاړي پیدا کړو با استعداده لوبغاړي به پیدا کړو نو یو ډېر ګټور ګام دی
ډېر ښه یو اخرنۍ پوښتنه دغه ټورنمنټ کې ټول وایي چې تاسو فیورټ هستئ خو پرون هم یو میچ بیل و هغې سره ستاسو مورال ټیټ شوی که سټل هماغه امید لرئ چې دغه ټورنمنټ کې به تاسو ټاپ کوئ او فاینل ته به لاره پیدا کوئ
رښتیا هم ټورنمنټ لیګ ټیمونه به داسې نږدې بیلي یا بعضې ټیمونو ترمنځ به هغه سیالۍ د رن ریټ نو انشاءالله موږ پوره امیدوار یو چې انشاءالله نورې سیالۍ به ګټو یوه سیالۍ موږ بایللې ده د هلکانو مورال اوس هم لوړ دی جګ دی نو انشاءالله موږ پوره هڅه کوو 100% لکه څنګه چې تاسو وایئ چې موږ فیورټ وو یا د ټورنمنټ بهترینه ټیم وو انشاءالله دا به ثابتوو
ډېره مننه ښه چانس
تاسو ته مننه
As Mirwais mentioned, and he looking forward to do his best performance, and they are the best team so far in this tournament, everybody says. And as he mentioned his shin injury, he was scared a bit yesterday, but finally he put some ice on it and he feels better after that, and he's playing tonight. Thank you, back to commentary box.
Thank you, Hamid. Very hard working at the boundary line, and he does get some wonderful insights speaking to his teammates in Pakhto. Mirwais, of course, we remember got that big injury the last match, and he still wanted to carry on and thought the better of it. And he is back. Would you believe it? Here it is again. Thank you. Production's right on. And bang, just under the knee on the shin. And he was actually happy to go back to his run-up till finally a little bit of good sense prevailed, and then he walked away. Luckily for him, it doesn't seem to have left too much lasting damage. Big unit. Hamid's a big guy. And Mirwais towering over Hamid. So these guys are big and strong and fearless. And it's just great cricket. Good to be here. The Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League powered by Fog. Naveen cranking it up.
Yeah, the talent, Charu, is just wonderful. You know, I think what this league will also do is add to the bench strength because Afghanistan team, on the whole, they have been progressing very well. We saw that in the Asia Cup. Once again, a bit of injury.
Ouch. Well, couple of balls ago, his left thumb, and now just over the wrist, stopping that back foot push really by Chris Gayle. Well, he's down and hopefully not out. So while we take care of his injury, just another quick reminder that this is going around the world, and on D Sports in India, Ariana in Afghanistan. We believe lots of Afghan cricket fans are tuned in, watching every little bit, and they should be proud of what the world is seeing. A true indication of the fact that Afghanistan cricket is all set to, well, it's boomed already, Ajay, but all set to hopefully do better and get more wins against the bigger nations. They certainly have the talent. We just need to ensure there's enough depth. And leagues like this expose the depth. And we've seen some wonderful youngsters. And, of course, leagues also give an opportunity for those who may have just stopped playing for the country to come back and contribute and just be a part of the mix.
Yeah, they were very impressive in the Asia Cup. They've qualified for the World Cup as well in England. So really, there's a team that everybody will be looking forward to. The kind of bench strength, the spinners they have, people like Mohammad Nabi, Rashid Khan, Mujib. Once again, not timing it too well, Chris Gayle. He's out there, Gayle, but the Gayle storm hasn't arrived so far. I think people would be expecting that Gayle to fire, you know, because he's got a start now. He's been there for some time. 20 of 21 deliveries for Chris Gayle, 2 boundaries, 1 6. A lot of support for both the teams.
Yeah, very quiet by Chris Gayle standards, but we know he requires only a delivery or two to get into that arc, and then he might unleash his ferocious power. For the moment, though, Colin Munro's outscoring him.
Decent over. Bowled really well, that one, Naveen. End of the 8th over, 56 for 1. You can follow the action all around the world. Yes, Ariana Television Network in Afghanistan. I'm sure a lot of people are watching out there. The local players, the big stars from Afghanistan. You can also watch in India, on D Sports, USA, Pakistan, Middle East, everywhere. And there's some great cricketing action going on. Today, back-to-back matches. It's a double-header going into the week as well. We're going to have a few double-headers till Sunday.
Yep, plenty of action. Still to come. Oh, got him. Big wild heave. Colin Munro misses completely, but Mujib doesn't. Such a clever young bowler, an asset for Afghanistan. Strikes. And Balkh in a little more trouble now.
The middle stump uprooted. That is what Mujib can do. He had a man at deep mid-wicket, long on as well, trying to play across the line, didn't read it. That was the off spinner playing across the line, missing it completely and striking, disturbing the furniture. Mujib, very talented. He's got a lot of variations. Munro would be unhappy, getting a start, not able to convert it. But for 33, it's 56 for 2.
Vibrant colours of Afghanistan on evidence here at the Sharjah cricket ground. You're watching the Gulbahar Afghanistan Premier League powered by Fog. And here's Rohinton Deshkarte, who now joins Chris Gayle. So while Gayle can be truly destructive, Deshkarte very busy, can also hit the ball a long way. And for me, Balkh still has lots of possibilities here. You know, the only thing one can say, and I don't mean to be critical at all, Ajay, is that while Chris Gayle is there, every once in a while the singles are not taken in time or quickly enough. At times, of course, here's the big heave that Colin Munro missed. All kept a little low, and I don't think it was short enough for that, but you can't argue. When you're seeing the ball well enough, you tend to play those shots. A little quicker as well by Mujib. Back to the fact that quite a few runs are missed in the field because of Chris being there. And then, you know, a little bit of pressure builds up on the rest of the team members. Who's going to hit big? Because if Chris is not getting the big shots, he's certainly not running quick singles or converting ones into twos. And it can be a little disturbing to the dugout.
Yeah, you're right, especially with the boundaries not coming, because it always builds that pressure. 15 deliveries since the last boundary was hit. He's been there for some time. Chris Gayle, oh, in the air, and that's taken. That's a big wicket. Double strike for Mujib. He's done a wonderful job. That's the big fish. That's the wicket they wanted. Chris Gayle. Shah would be very happy the way team is progressing, the way spinners are bowling. This is a big wicket under pressure now. Chris Gayle has to walk back, getting a start. Double strike in this over.
Venki Prasad, I think, was having a bit of dessert. It'll taste a lot sweeter. Bottom of the bat. Simplest catch back to the bowler. Mujib done very well for his team. He got taken for a few last time around, but now 2 for not very much. Chris Gayle gone for a very slow 20. It's 57 for 3.
Suddenly the tide has changed. Yes, 2 wickets in the last over. 2 new batsmen in the crease. It is Carter and Bopara joining him now. But Mujib, what a fantastic over. Fabulous over, the last one. Double strike by him. First got the wicket of Munro, and then Chris Gayle just patting it back. Really not great footwork by him. The standing, the eases of catches for the bowler Mujib.
Well, sorry as you feel for the big man, you've got to feel happy for Mujib. It's a new generation, a bowler appreciated around the world. But I still say Balkh have lots of opportunities because Ryan Deshkarte and, of course, Ravi Bopara are hugely experienced. I remember an earlier match, a couple of matches ago, they were in a big stand. And unlike what would have happened with Gayle, of course, full respect to his big hitting abilities, but these two are going to do some sharp running. They're suddenly going to put Nangarhar under a little bit of fielding pressure now.
Another option in spin, Rahmat Shah. He's a very capable batsman, but a good spinner as well, leg spinner. The other day, just before the game, I saw Venkatesh Prasad just having a chat with Rahmat Shah, just telling him the lines he's got to bowl. There was a cone out there during the practice sessions, and he was bowling according to that. 2 wickets for him, but he's a decent bowler, leg spinner. And why I say that is good fill-in bowler. You know, can chip in with 2 or 3 overs. If he bowls well, can be option for the captain, Ben Cutting. In these conditions, Charu?
For sure. You could use slow bowlers who turn the ball a bit because a lot of the overseas players may be a little unused to that. Although, of course, the pitch is still very good for making runs. Oh, edged. That's a little rough on Rahmat, and it might go all the way. No. Oh, stop. Brilliant work.
That will lift the team. Excellent work there. Very good commitment. Diving in the end, just pushing the ball in. I thought he's done a good job. Might be referred. Might be asked to the third umpire. But you see, very well done. Near the skirting.
Oh, no, that's fantastic. I mean, it was the timing of that dive. Just brilliant. And, of course, a very effective roll because you need to know how to do that to avoid injury. Well done.
Good over so far. He's bowling the right line. Unlucky on the previous occasion, conceding a few runs. There was a thick outside edge. But a good start here for Rahmat Shah. That should encourage him. Just boost his confidence.
Also a very good bat. Hamid, I remember Hamid talking about him.
Just settled for 1. So halfway stage in this innings. 10 overs gone. 62 for 3.
Balkh, remember, were put into bat, and they certainly haven't had things all their own way. Mujib, mystery spinner, a couple of wickets for him in quick succession. 2 big wickets as well. Colin Munro and Chris Gale after the early loss of Usman Ghani. Oh, it's got to be gone. Ravi Bopara run out. Run out for the second time in this tournament. What a great bit of work from Johnson Charles at backward point. And more trouble for Balkh.
Gee whiz, these are a bonus. Johnson Charles, take a bow, you beauty. It bounced up nicely for him. He just had one stump to aim at and he's knocked it back. Ravi Bopara not even in the frame. Excellent throw. And he was taking evasive action, was Ravi Bopara. Maybe if he had put in a dive, might have got there, but he's decided not to dive. A directed sees him way short. What a wicket that is. Ravi Bopara gone for 3, 62 for 4 now.
Balkh in all sorts of strife now. Ali Keel, the wicketkeeper, coming in at number 6. Ryan Tenduscarter, an awful lot of responsibility on him now. Ikram Ali Kale, who's kept very tidily in this tournament so far. Left-hander, but in terms of his contributions in front of the stumps, very limited in the embryonic stages of his 2020 career. Oh, is that out? No. Brilliant effort at backward point. Did it carry? I think it did.
Would have been a sensational catch. We've just seen a stunning run out. Johnson Charles hitting the stumps from backward point. And this would have just been the icing on the cake. It was a great effort. This will give us a better indication, but first of all, the run out, have a look at this. Had to turn, aim at the stumps, knocked them over. Bopara nowhere to be seen.
Off the mark. Oh, goodness me, if that had been a direct hit, Ali Kale would have gone. I think we're still going to go upstairs and have a look.
McClenaghan, he's happy. He thinks he's got his man. I tell you what, it's going to be touch and go. This the dive.